Happy Wednesday, Stampin' friends. Time for another What's She Making Wednesday, and today I have a fun Merry and Bright card that glows in the dark. So let's see if this works. Where you can see how fun our glow-in-the-dark card can become. So we're gonna make this today, and now we have some light. I can show you how fun this card is. We're gonna be using some specialty papers, our glow-in-the-dark, and this Merry and Bright set. I just love these light bulbs. I think they're so fun, these Christmas bulbs. So let's get started. So we're gonna start with some stamping. And so I have a piece of basic white here, and we're gonna be using our in colors. So we're gonna be using some Tahitian Tide, some Starry Sky, some Sweet Sorbet, and some Parakeet Party. So I love these bright in colors. They're so fun. I think they are perfect for Christmas. So we are going to use our stamps. We're going to use our light bulb here, and we're going to use our the top of the light bulb first. So I purposely didn't put these on because I know I've got some questions lately on how do the stamps attach, and so I thought it would be perfect if I just shared that today. So let me pull out these two stamps that we're gonna first be using. And so these are our photopolymer stamps, so they are clear, which I love because you can line them up real well. So let me pull out our acrylic blocks. And so for this one, we're gonna need two of the sizes. And so what's great is you just flip your stamps over. And what I like to do is to just press my acrylic block onto my stamps, and then they just stick right to it. So they cling on and off, which is so nice and fun. The other color we're gonna be using is our Pebbled Path. This is one of our newer in colors, because I think it makes the perfect topper for our light bulbs. Okay, so let's start with some Sweet Sorbet. So we're just gonna open this up. Already got our basic white here. And the other thing that we're gonna need is our stamp cleaner, because in between each of these light bulbs, we're going to need to clean them. So perfect video today to share with you how to do all that, right? Okay, so we're gonna ink up in our Sweet Sorbet, our light bulb. And so I'm gonna stamp this one kind of right in the middle. We'll ink it up a few more times. What's fun about this card is every one that you make is going to be a little different. So we're just gonna turn our light bulb a few times and get that on there just like so. Then we'll close up our Sweet Sorbet here as we're done with that one, and we'll bring in our stamp cleaner. So this is our stamp chamois, which I love because you just get it wet with water, clean your stamps on it, and then you can rinse it with water. Some of the ink will come out. It will still stay looking like this, but it will just keep cleaning your stamps over and over again. Then we're gonna bring in our Pebbled Path and our top of our light bulb here. And what's great about these clear stamps is we just ink this up, and because they're clear, you can see through to stamp that down and line that light bulb right up. And this other one here needs the topper, and the same thing. We've got that topper right on there. How fun, right? Okay, so we'll set that up here. We'll keep using that. And let's see, let's bring in Parakeet Party next. We've cleaned this. So sometimes I just stamp it off just to make sure it's dry. And then we'll just ink our light bulb back up. And we will stamp our green a few times, our Parakeet Party. And I just kind of turn it, ink it up, turn the paper. You can stamp it off in the edges, wherever you think that one is good. And maybe that's good for that one. Okay, then we'll close up our Parakeet Party. And we'll bring in our Tahitian Tide and our stamp cleaner. So we don't want to put green into blue, right? So we'll go ahead and clean this off again. And open up our Tahitian Tide. Before we do that, I forgot the top of this, our Parakeet Party light bulb. So let's do that. Perfect. And you want to keep doing that in between so that you don't put your next light bulb too close and then forget the topper. So then we'll make sure that's dry. And with our Tahitian Tide, we'll bring this one in right there. And let's see, we'll flip this one. Right there. And maybe one more here at the top. Right there. Okay, so we've got those. We'll close up our Tahitian Tide here. Bring in our cleaner so we don't forget. And make sure that's clean. And then we're gonna bring in Starry Sky. And before we do that, let's do the toppers to our light bulbs here. See how easily those line up? Okay, and then our Starry Sky to finish off our fun Christmas bulbs here. So we'll do one in the corner. And because these are the clear photopolymer, you'll see I'm stamping on top of our foam mat. Let's see, how do we want this one? We'll do one more here. Come in from the top. Perfect. So then we'll set that aside. Close up our Starry Sky here. Love using all these in colors. And then we'll finish off the top here of our last bulb. And we'll close up our pebbled path. How fun is that? It's almost like creating our own designer series paper, right? So we'll set all that aside for now. And we're gonna do one more set of stamping here. And so for this, we're gonna use our glow in the dark 6x6 paper. So you might be thinking like, I thought the glow in the dark paper was just for Halloween. Well, this makes such a fun, you know, I love the sentiment that we're gonna stamp on it. Have a merry and bright Christmas. Goes so well with the Christmas lights, right? So we're gonna bring in, we'll use one of our scraps here of our glow in the dark paper. Love, love, love it. We're gonna use it in two pieces, some for die cutting and some for stamping. So first for our stamping, we'll bring our foam mat back in. This just helps give our stamps some cushion, right? Bring back in some of our acrylic blocks and we'll get our sentiment here. So these have these great buildable words here. So we're gonna use Have a Merry and Bright Christmas. Okay, so we'll start out with our blocks and just putting these on just like we shared before. And I guess I could use smaller ones for this. Let me grab some smaller ones. I like to use the smallest block possible so you don't get a lot of extra ink on there. Okay, so we've got all of those. For this glow-in-the-dark paper, for our black ink, we want to use our Stays On ink because it won't smear on this specialty glow-in-the-dark paper, right? Because there's, you know, all the stuff that makes it glow in the dark. So we want our ink to stay on to our fun paper. So we're just gonna open that Stays On, and it does exactly what it says. It stays on, right? And so we will just start. So we'll ink up our Have a first. And you know, on our scratch paper, you can practice it to make sure, see that it's not inked up, right? So we want to make sure we get that good and inked up. There we go. So that's how we want it to look, right? So we'll bring this a little closer here. And we'll just check the back just to make sure. And when it looks good, we're just gonna stamp it. Now, the glow-in-the-dark paper, sometimes your stamp can slide a bit just because of, you know, what's on it. So what I've been doing is just stamping 2 of each one and using whichever one comes out the best. Okay, so Have a, and we'll do Merry. This is just we're gonna cut these out. We're gonna fussy cut these out so you can really stamp them on any scrap of the glow-in-the-dark paper. And I just hold it there a second. Seems to help it so it doesn't smear. Okay, so Have a Merry and Bright. I think that sentiment goes so well with our Christmas bulbs. That one needed a little more ink. So we'll make sure that's on. Get our second one down, that's better. And then Christmas. We'll make sure that's inked up well. There we go. We'll stamp that down. We'll do that one more time. So we'll ink that up, double check it, stamp and hold. There we go. Okay, so now all of our stamping is done. I like to let that sit for a second just to make sure everything is good and dry. So I'm going to bring in our card base here. And so I've already cut it and scored it, so we're just gonna go ahead and fold and burnish it with our bone folder. So we get a good nice crease there. And then we're going to bring in another specialty paper. So this is our In Color specialty paper. Our In Color textured specialty paper. So it comes in all those colors that we stamped with. The Tahitian Tide, the Sweet Sorbet, the Parakeet Party, all of those great colors. So we're gonna use the Sweet Sorbet. And we're just gonna go ahead and adhere this with some liquid glue. I love the texture in this. It's almost got like a shine, a glimmer to it. It's not glittery, but it does definitely have a fun shine. So we're just gonna go ahead and adhere that down. We're gonna take our cute DSP that we made, homemade DSP, right? And with this one, we're gonna take some of our dimensionals and we're gonna pop this up. So we'll just go ahead and pop these on the back here. Peel off the backs. And then we're just gonna center this right on top of that sweet sorbet layer. So we'll just center that in. And we've got that attached. So you can see that fun specialty textured paper there, right? Okay, so then the next step is some die cutting. So I love the die cuts that are, you can get in a bundle that go with the stamp set, because they do cut out our, you could stamp these, right, and cut them out each piece. You could do some fun light strings, our retro lights, we'll call them, and all those parts and pieces. And so I've already pre-cut and did some die cutting. So I did our light bulb in that same textured sweet sorbet using this die here, and using that glow-in-the-dark paper with a little bit of adhesive sheets. So these are like sticky sheets that you can stick on the back of any paper. So I stuck it on, you can kind of see the shine there. I stuck it on to our glow-in-the-dark paper, and then I die cut out this one, which is the middle part of our light bulb. So it's going to be like the light, you know, that light center of a light bulb, and it's going to glow. And then the top of our, I can grab it here. Oh boy. The top of our light bulb, I die cut out of another specialty paper, which is our luster, our pebbled path. So that's that same color that we did the tops here. Our pebbled path luster paper. So see how it kind of looks like a silver shiny top of a light bulb? So I die cut that out as well. And so what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna create some depth. We're gonna pop up like we did here. We're gonna pop up just right on top of where we stamped that sweet sorbet light bulb, so that way this is a focal point, and as it glows in the dark, it really is kind of wowy, right? So since this is such a delicate piece, that's why I put that adhesive sheet on the back, because here's the magic. If you try to glue this piece, you're gonna have glue everywhere. It's gonna be gushing out the sides, but these adhesive sheets, you can peel them off. So you put it on before, so I put that on before I ran this through the die cut machine, and now it's sticky. So I can just put this right kind of in the center of our bulb, and then once you press it down, it is stuck on there, and so you didn't have to have glue gushing or get it all over, anything like that, which I think is brilliant, whoever created those, right? For the top here, I didn't put the adhesive sheet because it's a bit bigger, right, than our light bulb, and so we don't want the adhesive sticking, you know, in the other parts. So what I do here is I take just a little bit of our liquid glue, put just a tiny dot is a lot, right? And put that just on the tip of our light bulb, and wherever you want it, you can, well, if you put it on the right side, hello, okay, you can. I'm like, why doesn't it look right? Just go ahead and pinch it together for a second so that it adheres. I might need another little bit since, yep, I think I do. Okay, so we'll start that again. So a little dot is a lot of glue. Make sure we're doing it on the correct part of the bulb. Kind of hold it together so it adheres. See how that glue just sticks. Okay, so now we're gonna let this dry. and get all fused together. So we'll just put that aside for a second. And I'm going to bring in some paper snips. Love our paper snips because they're super sharp and precise. And so now what we're going to do is we're just going to go through our sentiments here, and we're just going to fussy cut these. Since they're a square, right, a rectangle, they're super easy to just cut out. They don't need to be perfect, but I do like to leave a little bit of border for our glow-in-the-dark paper here because we want these to kind of shine, right? That's what's fun about using this glow-in-the-dark paper. We'll make that even. Okay, so have a merry and bright and our Christmas. We'll just even this up a bit. Get our and bright. Even this one up a bit. Okay, remember they don't have to be perfect. So now we get to put the last bits of this together. So we've got our light bulb here, and I'm just gonna put a couple of dimensionals on the back. And even though I've already stamped it, we're gonna put this, we're really gonna show the dimension by having it behind, right? The same color behind. And so we're just gonna put this one like almost exactly on top of our light bulb. So we'll just line that up and then see it gives it that little extra dimension. And now we'll just take our adhesive here, and with our sentiments, we're just gonna add a bit of glue. And I love these block sentiments. And I kind of like to offset them so then you don't have to worry about lining them up exactly straight, right? I don't like having to do that. So offset them on purpose and then you don't have to worry about it. Have a merry and bright. And then at the bottom, we'll put our Christmas. Just hold it there a second. And there we have a merry and bright Christmas. So I love this card. I think it's so fun. You can even stamp the inside with our little extra bulb wire that's in there. That's one of the stamps in the set. And I think this is so fun. That glow-in-the-dark element. You can see I used the different pieces in our die set. There's the light part. There's two different ones. So whether it's the heart or the little curly Q, I think they're both darling. It's such a fun set and a great way to use your glow-in-the-dark paper for something that isn't necessarily Halloween, right? We could use it for Christmas. We could use it for New Year's, like with some fun fireworks and, you know, birthdays, anything. I think just adds that little bit of extra touch. So as always, if you want the measurements for today's card, I send them out every Thursday in our weekly Buzz Bulletin. So if you want to subscribe to that, it's totally free. You can check down below, or you can go to stampinqueenbee.com and sign up there. You'll get my weekly tutorials. It's a PDF for free with all the supplies, all the measurements, and the how-to steps to create today's card. Thanks so much for joining me, liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next week.